effort to overcome their learning difficulties. However, the result of student conceptual interpretation sometimes do not match the scientific concept provided by teacher and expert. This often causes errors in understanding a concept, or what is often referred to as a misconception. Misconceptions are a term that represents a misunderstanding of information held by students that is not accurate based on expert view of a concept. This inappropriate thoughts can linger in students' minds for a long time and can even be communicated later in their life. This can result in a decline in student cognitive process or thinking styles or knowledge, both in the short and long term. Several studies show that student misconceptions about acid-base material are in the high category. Misunderstanding about acid-base often occur in the submaterials of acid-base theory, acid strength or pH, degree of dissociation, acid-base constant, neutralization reaction, and acid-base titration. According to Suparno, a misconception can be identified by using diagnostic test instruments such as interview, concept map, easy test, practical work with question and answer, discussion in class, and tier test multiple choice, input level multiple choice test, and tier diagnostic test multiple choice. Diagnostic tests are used to determine which subjects have weakness and provide tools to find the cause of the deficiencies, as well as identify students' strength and weakness in learning. The basic principle of diagnostic test is that teachers must take into account the intuitive basic knowledge accurate by student if they want to understand student thinking about the science concept being taught. Three-tier multiple choice diagnostic test is a type of diagnostic test that can be used to identify and measure student misconception. The three-tier multiple choice diagnostic test is a development of the two-level multiple choice diagnostic test. This development leads to an increase in student level confidence in choosing answer and giving reason. The first tier in multiple choice question with four distractor and answer that student can choose. The second tier concerns student reason for answering question at the first level. The third tier is the level of student confidence in choosing answer and reason at the first and second tier. The given certainty response index, or CRE, is the way to distinguish between knowing the concept, misunderstanding the concept, and not knowing the concept. CRE is a measure of the degree of certainty in student answer of the question asked. The reliability of the response scale is expressed through the CRI index. A CRI value less than 2.5 indicates students are less confident when answering questions. Based on the result of interview conducted with the chemistry teacher at SMA Negeri 1 Gersan Sepangan, it was stated that student understanding of chemistry material, especially acid-base material related to acid-base reaction and calculation such as measuring the pH value in solution, often cause misconception, which result in the student not understanding the concept conveyed by the teacher. The student creates a concept based on his personal thought. In research conducted by Putri and Laksono on class 11 MIPA in high school in Palembang identified as having misconception about acid-base material in average of 54.13%. Student misconception regarding to subconcept of acid-base strength are due student experiencing error in determining concentration of H plus and OH plus ions in the subconcept of determining the concept of pH and pOH. Student experience misconception about using the formula to find the mass of a substance. The next is about problem identification. Based on the description of the background of the problem that has been explained, several problems can be identified as follows. 1. Misconception occur on chemistry material in high school. 2. Interpretation of new knowledge with student understanding. 3. Students' misconception about acid-base material. The next is scope of problem. Based on the background and the problem identified above, the scope of the problem in the research is analysis of student misconception on acid-base material using three-tier diagnostic test with certainty response index method in class 11 science at SMA Negeri 1 Girsang Sepakan Bolen. Next is problem limitation. In order for research to be more directed and focused, it is necessary to consider the limitation of the problem in the research. Namely, the first is the material tests are acid-base material. The second is the instrument used is a three-tier diagnostic multiple choice test with the help of the certainty response index method. The three instruments used to measure student misconception for this research was conducted at SMA Negeri 1 Girsang Sepakan Bolen. The next is problem formulation. Based on the background of the problem in this research can be formulated as follows. The first, how is the percentage of student misconception about acid-base material based on the three-tier diagnostic multiple choice test with the help of the certainty response index? The second is, what are the concepts of acid-base material that have been misconception? The next is research objective. Based on the existing problem formulation, objective of this research are: the first is to describe the presentation of student misconception on acid-base materials based on the three-tier diagnostic multiple choice test with the help of certain response index. Second is to describe concepts that have misconception in acid-base material. The next is research benefit. The result of this research are expected to provide benefits including: the first is for teacher as a reference in order to improve the quality of teaching and learning chemistry, especially on acid-base topics. Second is for researcher, increasing insight into scientific skill, especially chemistry learning research, as well as experience to find out misconception that occur in student. 3. For other researcher as input in order to conduct future relevant research. The last 4 for readers as an additional insight to find out scientific data regarding student misconception that occur on the acid-base topic. The last is operational definition. The first is misconception is a misunderstanding of a concept that is not in accordance with scientific concept. Second is three-tier diagnostic multiple choice test is a test that can be used to measure student misconception consists of 3 tiers. The first tier is a multiple choice question. The second tier consists the reason for the answer from the first tier. And the third tier is a level of student confidence in answering the first tier and second tier. The certainty response index or CRI is a technique for measuring misconception by measuring a person's level of confidence in answering each question on a scale of 0 to 5. I think that's all. I'll be back to ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Miranda. So my question is first, you will do statistical analysis on this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you have how many questions? 40 questions or 30?
Can I answer in Indonesian?
Sure.
Mungkin sebelum validasi saya akan buat 30, nanti saya ujikan mungkin 20 saja.
20. Oke, jadi berarti 30 kamu validasi, lalu setelah validasi yang kamu ujikan ke siswa itu 20 gitu ya?
Yes, ma'am.
Oke. Nah, ini berarti yang 40 ini, yang 30 soal ini berarti udah 3 tier yang kamu validasi kan?
Iya,
Untuk 3 tier. Oke. Nah, lalu ini kan pertama kan kamu mau menentukan berapa persentase dari siswa, ya kan? Persentase
Ya.
siswanya ya yang mengalami miskonsepsi pada materi asam basa. Oke.
Eh,
Nah, yang kedua, tapi kamu buat di sini what are the concept ya, the concept of the acid base material that have been misconception. Nggak cocok ini bahasanya, Miranda. What
nanti
are the concept of acid base material that have been misconception? Ini misconception kata benda kan, bukan kata kerja kan? Ya kan? Jadi kan kamu maksud kamu kan ini kan topik apa konsep
eh,
konsep mana pada material asam basa
yang
yang
mengalami miskonsepsi.
mengalami miskonsepsi gitu ya. Tapi ini kurang cocok. Nah, nanti kamu ganti ya.
Baik, ma'am.
Maksudnya ini kan have been misconception. Nah, karena misconception itu kan dia kata benda kan. Sementara kalau kamu pakai have been, dia itu kata harus kata kerja di sini, benar nggak? Ya kan? Nah, jadi ini yang harus kamu ini kan. Lalu kalau misalnya yang lain-lain itu kan biasanya yang tipe penelitian seperti ini ada ini juga nggak kamu? Ada questionnaire juga nggak?
Cuman soal aja sih, ma'am, sama wawancara di awal untuk guru.
Oh, jadi hanya soal aja ya, nggak ada questionnaire ya?
Dan,
Oke, karena ada juga teman kamu yang apa bimbingannya Prof. Ida itu, ya lupa namanya siapa.
Tamtiur, ma'am.
Malam tiur. Nah, dia ada soal, ada juga kuesioner dan kuesionernya itu pun dilakukan kalau nggak salah saya dilakukan analisa statistik juga gitu karena setiap pertanyaan itu ada kayak nilainya gitu. Nah, jadi maksud saya apa bedanya kamu dengan dia? Kenapa kamu nggak pakai kuesioner? Kira-kira alasan kamu nggak pakai kuesioner apa?
Memang, ma'am, penelitian saya yang cuman berfokus ke masalah miskonsepsi itu, memang nggak ada menggunakan kuesioner, cuman fokus pakai soal tritier sama CRI-nya aja, ma'am.
Ya,
Tapi Kak,
CRI-nya ini apa? CRI-nya ini apa? Bagian mananya?
eh, kalau di tritier diagnostik itu kan, ma'am, pilihan berganda, alasan, sama skala seberapa percaya diri, kayak mana apa di alasannya itu untuk soal skala keyakinan menjawab alasan sama tier pertamanya. Jadi saya kalau di tier biasa cuma ya dan tidak. Cuman saya ganti jadi skala CR yang dari 0 sampai 5 itu, yang menebak lebih rinci lagi, memang gitu maksudnya.
Oh, berarti dia yang bagian ketiga itu
Yang
eh,
diganti ke CRI, memang.
diganti ke CRI ya. Oke. Berarti itu nanti kamu untuk validasi ini harus ke dosen yang ahli dalam bidang ini ya. Kamu tahu siapa kira-kira?
Masih nanya-nanya, siapa aja soal yang dosen yang validasi soal, masih nanya-nanya.
Rani gimana, Bu Rani? Bu Rani kan dia sering mahasiswanya kayak gini penelitiannya.
Hmm.
Mungkin kamu bisa tanyakan ke beliau ya kan. Sekarang bukan masalah topik kimianya ini. Kamu validasinya benar nggak cara kamu mengatur si tritier dengan si CRI ini kan? Nah, itu yang harus kamu karena di sini berarti soal kamu ini yang menentukan hasil penelitian kamu. Nah, kalau nggak valid soal kamu, penelitian kamu nggak valid juga ya. Nah, jadi kalau saya rasa kayak Bu harus 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 dosen-dosen pendidikan kimia ini menurut saya ya. Karena kalau topik kimianya kan ini kan asam basa kan. Itu semua dosen kimia wajib tahu itu kan. Jadi bukan bukan ke ahli asam basa yang kamu perlu cari, tapi ahli dosen-dosen yang eh, apa ahli dalam miskonsepsi ini. Nah, mungkin Pak Ferry ya. Pak Ferry mau nggak validasi biasanya?
Kurang tahu, mem. Tapi teman-teman saya rata-rata ke Bu Mutiara, dosen baru itu. Mutiara Agustina.
Beliau tahu nggak ini tentang ini? Kalau maksudnya nanti kamu tanya, mungkin aja Bu Rani nggak mau, tapi coba tanya Bu Rani nanti bisa nggak beliau validasi ya, karena ini menurut saya harus valid, dia nggak boleh misalnya asal-asalan kita memvalidasinya gitu ya. Berapa dosen harus ini? 2 ya paling nggak ya?
1 pun nggak masalah sih, Mem.
Satu pun nggak masalah. Oke, ya udah. Oke, ini berarti kamu saya lihat sih coba kamu lihat ke introduction-nya. Introduction-nya pun saya rasa sudah cukup bagus, tapi nanti kan saya kan dosen tes kamu, saya harus baca lagi, oke? Ya,
Ya,
Miranda. Oke, ya udah. Thank you Miranda. Good job. I think you already at least you already know like the starting point for your research ya. Oke. Next, who else?
thank you, Mem.
Oke,
Saya
siapa nih?
Indonesia,
Siapa?
Indonesia, Mem.
Oh, Hai Indonesia. Oke, silakan. Kamu yang share sendiri kan? Ini udah angkatan 21? Belum?
20, Mem.
Masih 20. Oke, lanjut. Kemarin awal-awal perkuliahan, Prof. Manihar bilang kalian ada ujian akhirnya nggak ini kelas ini? Kemarin UTS ada? Ada UTS?
Ada, Mem.
Ya, Mem.
UTS ujian gitu ya?
Ya, Mem.
Iya, Mem.
Ujian akhir, beliau ada sebut nggak? Ada ujian akhir nggak?
Nggak ada ngomong apa-apa, Mem.
Nggak ada, oke. Nggak apa-apa, nanti saya mau tanya. Kan kalian ini berarti kan tugasnya banyak ini ya, kelas ini ya. Apakah ada ujian akhir juga nggak? Oke, silakan, Indonesia.
Okay, Mem and friends. Here I will present my chapter 1 from my proposal. The background is the era of Industrial Revolution 4.0 has brought about change in various aspects where information technology has become crucial for humankind. The role of technology is noted in various fields, especially education. Education during the Industrial Revolution 4.0 is expected to be able to form students who are able to keep up with the times. The Industrial 4.0 requires teachers to have competencies that are comparable to current developments, such as educational competencies, technology commercialization competencies, global competencies, and future strategy competencies, as well as consular competencies. The Industrial Revolution 4.0 affects all aspects of life in the world. With this Industrial Revolution, the role of technological development is very high. Technology does not only target industry, communication technology has become very common, and we often encounter it in everyday life. From its own definition, technology is tool or product created to make human work easier. Technology can be used in various fields, including education. The currently popular implementation of technology is in education, online learning. Online learning allows students to learn from anywhere and at any time, without being limited by time and space. This makes it easier for students who are busy or have physical limitation to study. In addition, online learning can also provide access to a wider range of learning resources such as learning videos, ebooks, and interactive digital learning platforms. Technological development have also brought the concept of game-based learning interactive. Educational apps and games are designed to teach critical skills such as problem solving, creativity, and teamwork. This approach makes the learning process more enjoyable and motivates students to be active involved. Augmented reality technology is also increasing popular in education. Increasingly popular in education. Augmented reality can help students learn visually and interactively, thereby improving memory and making it easier to understand difficult concepts. For example, augmented reality can be used in science and mathematics learning to visual concepts and make it easier for students to understand these concepts. Augmented reality technology is a technology that is able to provide a form of visualization, something through the process of scanning a real marker and then projecting it into virtual world. This technology has two main components in its use, namely makers and camera scanners. Augmented technology reality has now become a technology that is often used in everyday life, both or entertainment, or games, or education. In the world of education, augmented reality technology is able to become an alternative media that can display microscopic material into a form that can be seen through device. In the context of learning, augmented reality allows students to view and interact with virtual objects in a real environment. They can manipulate molecular structure, view reaction animation, or dig deeper into molecular details. In this way, students can learn through hands-on experience and active exploration, which can increase engagement,
Engagement.
engagement and deepen their
Engagement.
engagement and deepen
Hmm.
their understanding. Media-based learning augmented reality can encourage students to engage in active learning. They can try virtual experience themselves, solve problems, or participate in interactive simulation by actively involving students. Learning becomes more fun and effective. Application of augmented reality in learning makes learning activities feel more enjoyable. This is also useful for teachers as a medium for delivering material and facilitating the teaching and learning process. Teachers don't need to convey too much material in lectures because it is supported by technology augmented reality. The positive impact is implementation of augmented reality in delivering material can increase effectiveness and optimal students' learning outcome. The long-term benefit is in learning has the potential to improve the quality of education in the future, considering the Generation Z is currently more interested in learning media that incorporates technology compared to learning convention. Therefore, augmented reality can present redox concept visually, interactively, and more easily understood. The learning process that use media can make previously abstract material easier for students to understand. The redox concept involves the transfer of electrons between atoms and ions. With augmented reality, students can directly see visual representation of redox reaction process, such as color change, particle movement, or chemical reaction occurring around them. The this allows students to visualize concept more clearly and strengthen their understanding. Use augmented reality redox material can provide an in-depth learning experience. Students can explore concepts in more detail, view reaction realistically, and relate them to real-world phenomena. In doing so, they can develop a stronger understanding and be able to apply redox concept in different contexts. Development of interactive learning media based on augmented reality redox material can be an effective tool to improve chemistry learning by presenting the redox concept visually, interactively, and in-depth. Augmented reality can help students understand and master the material better. In connection with the problems mentioned, technology-based learning media needs to be developed to facilitate the learning process in the era of the Industrial Revolution 4.0. The focus of this research is interactive learning media in the form of sheets, where AR-based interactive learning media can display three-dimensional objects through augmented reality from the Unity application. The Unity application is an Android or iOS application that can be installed from the Google Play Store or App Store and operate on a cell phone. The Unity application is an application that can create, display, and share 3D objects in augmented reality displays. The aim of this research is to produce interactive learning media, AR-based interactive learning media assist by the Unity application that is feasible, effective, and gets good response from students. Based on the background of the problem above, the authors are interested in carrying out research entitled Development of Interactive Learning Media based on Augmented Reality, Android Technology Application, and Redox Reaction Material. So the problem identification is the use of technology and communication in learning is still less than optimal. The development of interactive learning media based on augmented reality in chemistry learning is still lacking. The redox reaction are abstract materials, so some students find the material difficult. Then the scope is to be more specific in this research. Researchers identified problems and limitations only in the use of base learning media, augmented reality with discovery learning models to improve learning outcomes and interest in learning about redox reaction material. The problem limitation is the learning media is used augmented reality based which was created using Unity and Canva software. The lesson used is redox reaction. The problem formulation is how effective is interactive learning media based on augmented reality technology on redox reaction material. Then how do students respond to interactive learning media based on augmented reality technology on redox reaction material? Then the research objectives is producing effective interactive learning media based on augmented reality technology and redox reaction materials. Then knowing students respond in using interactive learning media based on augmented reality technology. Then the benefits of research is motivate students in learning by providing an interactive learning experience and making it easier for students to understand the subject matter, especially redox reaction, and alternative interactive learning media in learning activities, especially in redox reaction. Then that can be used as reference input to development interactive learning media and redox reaction. I will give back to the ma'am.
Okay. So this is a development research, right? Ya, ini kan penelitian pengembangan ya, Hairunisa.
Iya, ma'am.
Ya, kamu akan bikin augmented learning reality ya. Hampir-hampir yang kayak game-game itu ya berarti ini ya. Yang kayak pakai kacamata gitu ya. Jadi
Iya.
seperti melihat langsung kayak 3D-nya gitu ya.
Iya, ma'am, betul.
Oke, coba kamu ke introduction tadi kamu sebutkan ini berarti nanti pakai handphone bisa ya, nggak harus pakai laptop ya?
Iya, ma'am.
Oke, pakai handphone bisa. Berarti ini sudah ada aplikasi yang kamu gunakan atau kamu kembangkan lagi aplikasinya?
Aplikasinya sudah ada, ma'am, tapi dikembangkan lagi melalui materi redox itu, ma'am.
Oh, berarti maksudnya kamu tinggal memasukkan materi redoxnya ke aplikasi tersebut gitu ya?
Iya, ma'am, benar.
Oke, berarti coba turun ke bawah. Ini kamu pakai apa? 3D, metode 3D.
Metode penelitiannya pakai 4D.
4D ya.
Iya.
4D sampai D yang terakhir berarti kamu akan kerjakan gitu ya?
Iya, ma'am, sampai di
Oke, nah sekarang yang saya mau tanyakan ini kan coba kamu lihat ke bawah lagi, coba ke bawah. Coba ke bawah ke ini, ke kamu kan bikin how effective is interactive learning media, augmented learning, augmented reality technology on redox reaction material. Nah, bagaimana kamu nanti mengukur how efektifnya ini?
pakai angket, nih.
Pakai
Sama medianya ini dibagikan lalu bagikan juga angketnya ke para murid gitu.
berarti kamu pakai angket. Nah, karena ini akan how efektif, seberapa efektif. Berarti jawaban-jawaban dari angket itu nanti ada nilainya juga gitu. Berarti akan ada sedikit statistiknya yang kamu kerjakan.
Enggak, nanti jawabannya itu hanya sangat baik, baik, atau kurang gitu.
Berarti nanti sekitar mungkin hampir semua
Gini.
baik gitu ya. Oke. Nah, itu yang pertama. Yang kedua, bagaimana kamu mengukurnya? Tunggu. Yang kedua, angket juga. Yang kedua tadi apa?
Iya, Mem.
Do student respond to interactive learning media based on augmented reality? Nah, berarti apa? Ada 2 angket atau 1 angket yang bisa menjawab dua-dua ini?
Kalau rencananya Mem ada satu angket tapi bisa menjawab dua-duanya gitu.
Berarti ada 1 angket yang bisa menjawab dua-dua ini. Berarti kamu nanti medianya harus kamu validasi, ya kan? Angketnya juga harus kamu validasi ya.
Baik, Mem.
Ya, karena kalau misalnya berarti kan ini jawaban dari penelitian kamu ini juga bergantung pada bagaimana kamu bertanya ke siswa tentang problem formulation kamu ini, ya kan? Jadi berarti harus valid juga berarti angket kamu itu ya. Ya, Hairunisa.
Iya, Mem.
Oke. Ya udah, ini berarti kamu sudah sempro.
Sudah, Mem.
Sudah ya, berarti sudah mantep lah ya. Oke. Ya udah. Thank you.
Terima kasih, Mem.
Kita belum absensi ya. Saya hampir aja lupa tadi. Bentar ya. Kita absensi dulu. Riset. Ini ada yang nggak hadir ini berarti ya. Seperti Rahma mungkin nggak hadir ya. Karena lagi keluar kota ya Rahma ya. Oke, Grace. Grace hadir.
Ma'am.
Safirda hadir tadi ya. Saya udah dengar tadi. Airunisa hadir. Vira Maharani
Hadir, Mem.
ya. Erianti Simbolon
Hadir, Mem.
ya. Miranda hadir. Tadi udah presentasi. Evalin
Evalin gak ada jaringan, Mem.
ada jaringan. Anissa Rahayu
Hadir, Mem.
Putri Purwansari
Hadir, Mem.
hadir. Minggu lalu nggak hadir kamu ya?
Iya, saya yang teks, Mem, minggu kemarin, Mem.
Maya Jenita Cecilia
Hadir, Mem.
Catherine Juperta Nurul Amalia Nasution
Hadir, Mem.
oh oke. Saya salah ini tadi. Rahma kan nggak hadir kan. Nia
Hadir, Mem.
Miftahul
Hadir, Mem.
Hoirul
Hadir, Mem.
Sylvia
Hadir, Mem.
Nadia Nurhalija Feby
Hadir, Mem.
dulu lihat Feby ya. Catherine
Hadir, Mem.
Kurniawati
Hadir, Mem.
Yolanda
Hadir, Mem.
Oke, sekarang selanjutnya siapa yang mau presentasi?
Nurul, Mem.
Nurul. Oke, silakan Nurul. Nurul udah sempro.
Rabu depan, Ma'am.
Rabu depan. Oke. Silakan. Berarti sekaligus kamu persiapan ini ya.
Good afternoon, ma'am, and all my friends. Okay, this is a presentation about my proposal. The title is The Relationship Between Religiosity and Student Learning Achievement in Chemistry. Okay, the next chapter 1, Introduction and Background of the Problem. Education organizers in school in educational goals are not only obliged to provide knowledge concept, but also instill character values in students. In reality, national education goals have not been fully achieved. This results in these graduates not yet reflecting the behaviors expected by the national goals. In general, today graduates tend to have schooler materialist, rationalist, and hedonist attitude, which mean people who are intellectually intelligent and physically skilled, but lack religious development. It can be seen from various cases, such as the three are still many students involved in brawls, committing crimes, theft, using illegal drug, raping, and committing other immoral acts. In essence, education has two goals. The first is to help people become smart and clever, and the second is to help them become human beings with good moral and behavior. It may be easy to make humans smart and intelligent, but it seems to be much more difficult, even very difficult, to make human good and wise people. The result of education in Indonesia generally have a mindset about success. Success in life is only seen and measured by the number of possessions. This mindset is what is called a secular and materialist society. This mindset also allows the birth of individuals who are intellectually intelligent but have poor religious attitude. There are many examples that can be seen, such as corrupt officials, students who often cheat on exams, members of the public who often engage in brawls, discriminatory people. It's the the movement to strengthen character education was initiated in 2060 by the Ministry of Education and Culture. It aims to implement strengthening the character of nation success and has 5 main character values that are priorities of the PPK movement: religion, nationalism, integrity, independence, and mutual cooperation. These 5 characters interact with each other, cannot be separated and developed independently, all develop dynamically and form a personal whole. Several applications of religious character that can be applied include reflecting belief in good, being
being tolerant and respecting the different in its religion, and living in harmony and peace with followers of their religion. Okay, the next problem formulation. The problem formulation on this result is the first is there a relationship between religiosity and learning achievement in chemistry for class 12 MIPA student at Mansu Medan. The second is there a relationship between religiosity and learning achievement in chemistry for female student class 12 MIPA at Mansu Medan. And the last is there a relationship between religiosity and learning achievement in chemistry for male student in class 12 MIPA at Mansa Medan. Next, result objective. Based on the problem formulation above, the objectives of this result include the first, to determine the relationship between religiosity and learning achievement in chemistry for class 12 MIPA student at Mansa Medan. The second is to know the relationship between religiosity and learning achievement in chemistry material for female student in class 12 MIPA at Mansa Medan. And the last, to determine the relationship between religiosity and learning achievement in chemistry for male student in class 12 MIPA at Mansa Medan. Okay, I will give back to ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Nurul. Nurul, saya mau bertanya, ini kan kamu coba lihat ke problem formulation-nya. Ya. Nah, di problem formulation itu kan kamu ada 3 ya. 3 problem gitu ya. Kamu
Ya, ma'am.
sama kamu apakah ada kaitan antara agama dengan
prestasi belajar.
Prestasi belajar dalam kimia. Tapi yang kedua dan ketiga berarti kamu pisahkan antara
Laki-laki sama perempuan, ma'am.
laki-laki dengan perempuan. Kenapa alasannya kamu buat seperti itu?
Karena ma'am, membandingkan kayak sekarang kan lebih dominan yang lebih berreligi itu lebih tinggi religinya itu kan ma'am anak perempuan gitu kan ma'am. Baik-baik gitu daripada anak laki-laki ma'am.
Jadi karena
Mau
itu
dibandingkan, ya ma'am.
apa ada memang jurnal yang menyatakan memang wanita lebih religius daripada lelaki gitu? Ada jurnal yang menyatakan itu gitu?
Ada ma'am, dia lebih religi karena dari ini ma'am cara kesehariannya ma'am gitu.
Jadi cara keseharian. Tapi ada
Iya.
jurnal yang menyatakan itu ada?
Ya ma'am.
Ada ya?
Ya ma'am.
Ada jurnal. Oh, oke. Enggak karena kan kamu yang pertama kan kamu secara general ya kan. Yang kedua hanya perempuan. Nah, yang ketiga hanya laki-laki gitu kan ya. Terus berarti ini cara mengukurnya kamu ada post test, pre-test juga? Ada pre-test, ada post test gitu enggak?
Enggak ma'am, kalau religinya dari angket kan ma'am. Tapi kalau prestasinya dari nilai rapot semester sebelumnya ma'am.
Oh, jadi kamu tidak ada melakukan pre-test, post-test gitu ya?
Tidak ma'am.
Kalau ini kamu mengajar di kelas nggak?
Enggak ma'am.
Nggak juga ya. Berarti ini seperti kayak kamu observer aja berarti ya?
Ya ma'am.
Ini media, berarti nggak ada media ya? Berarti ini kamu instrumen penelitian kamu itu hanya kuesioner
Angket
aja
religi.
ya?
Ya ma'am.
Berarti kuesioner. Berarti yang kamu validasi hanya kuesionernya ya?
Ya dengan nilai rapot mereka ma'am.
Nilai rapot?
Ini validasi cuman
ya
ma'am, cuma angket.
Berarti yang kamu validasi hanya kuesioner. Kuesionernya pun hanya satu aja ya?
Iya ma'am, benar.
Nggak kamu bedakan hanya antara kuesioner perempuan dengan laki-laki gitu nggak ya?
Enggak ma'am.
Di mana? Di Man 1 berarti yang dekat Unimed itu ya?
Iya ma'am.
Kamu. Oke, good luck ya untuk minggu depan ya. Mudah-mudahan
Iya
lancar.
ma'am. Amin. Makasih ma'am.
Oke, ya udah. Lanjut, siapa lagi nih?
Saya
Ada.
Mem Catherine, Mem.
Oke, silakan Catherine.
Mem, maaf Mem, sebelumnya Nadia hadir Mem.
Nadia hadir.
Iya Mem.
Tadi nggak kamu jawab kan?
Tadi ada jaringannya buruk Mem, terkeluar dia Mem.
Nah, biar saya lihat Nadia. Nadia ini angkatan 21 kan?
Iya, CSP 21 Mem.
Oke. Sudah. Oke,
Terima kasih Mem.
silakan Catherine. Catherine 20.
Okay, thank you, Mem. Good afternoon, Mem, and all of my friends. Okay, I will start my presentation about chapter 1 of my research proposal. The first, background. So, education is a process of learning knowledge, skills, and habits of a group of people that are passed on from one generation to the next through teaching, training, and research. Learning is essentially a process of interaction between learners and learning research. Thus, the role of a teacher is needed to develop the potential and abilities of each student. In accordance with the statement of Slameto, that a teacher must be able to generate an individualist spirit of learning by giving students the freedom to develop the ability to think innovatively and creatively in learning. Recently, the quality of education has become a serious agenda for discussion, both among education practitioners, politicians, the public, and those who make policies. The quality of national education is considered by many to not have educate equality when compared to the quality of education in neighboring countries. The quality of our education is getting worse when compared to other large countries, whereas education is an important variable in the intelligence of the nation. Okay, the next, according to the political and economical risk consultant, the quality of education in Indonesia ranks 12 out of 12 countries in Asia. Indonesia's position is below Vietnam. Data reported by the World Economic Forum Sweden, Indonesia has low competitiveness, which only ranks 37 out of 57 countries surveyed in the world. And still, according to the survey of the same institution in Indonesia, only predicate as a follower, not as a leader of technology from 53 countries in the world. Based on the experience of research and the results of interviews with chemistry teachers and students of Senior High School Negeri 11 Medan, it is known that chemistry is a subject that is considered difficult to understand. So, students are less interested in learning it. This is related to the characteristic of abstract science, concepts that make chemistry difficult to learn. One of the chemistry materials that are considered difficult to learn is buffer solution material. The results of observation and interviews with teachers and students that the learning approach used tends to be teacher-centered approach. The chemistry learning process tends to be monotone and less interesting. Students only receive an explanation of the material and then do the question. Therefore, the value of chemistry subject has not reached the optimal level. The learning process that involves teachers and students will not be separated from teaching materials, even though the teacher can explain the material clearly and completely. The need for teaching materials remains a priority. The quality of learning becomes low when educators are only fixed on conventional teaching materials, without any creativity to develop these teaching materials innovatively. And the next, one of the efforts that can be made to improve the quality of education is to develop teaching materials into various forms of teaching materials. Teaching materials have many varieties and forms. To develop teaching materials, teachers are required to constantly improve their abilities. If you do not have the ability to develop various teaching materials, the teacher will be trapped in a monotonous learning situation and tend to be boring for students. Teaching materials should be able to qualify as learning materials because many teaching materials used in learning activities generally tend to contain only subject information and are not well organized. Some research on student self-learning packages includes a series of learning experiences that are systematically planned and designed to help learners achieve learning objectives. According to Russell Inwena, the module learning system will make learning more efficient, effective, and relevant. Modules are teaching materials that can be used as a means of student learning because the modules are equipped with instruction for independent learning for students. The role of the teacher in learning using modules is a facilitator rather than dominating learning. So contextual learning helps students find creative ideas and in the learning process through discovery, reinforcement, and connection in the real world that is directly experienced by students. Students will work hard to achieve their learning goals by using previous experience and knowledge to build new knowledge. Then students use their understanding and abilities in context outside of learning, so that students will easily understand and remember what they learn. So the use of contextual-based teaching materials on the subject of buffer solution, that the results of the trial of teaching materials option, the indicators of contextual book teaching materials are well achieved. This is supported by data from the teaching material trial research, which saw each indicator in each questionnaire that reached an interpretation value above 70%. Thus, contextual book teaching materials on buffer solution material can be used as a component to learning media in class 12 science high school chemistry subject. The next problem identification. The first is the chemistry learning process is still done in a monotonous way. The second, teaching materials used in learning activities generally tend to contain only subject information and are not well organized. The third is the implementation of learning so far tends to be teacher-centered, and there are not many learning research that can increase student motivation. The next scope of study. Based on the above background, the scope of the problem in the study is the development of contextual-based teaching materials for teaching buffer solution materials to meet the standards to be taught at school. The next problem limitation. The first is the material developed is a buffer solution. The second, development of high school chemistry teaching materials on contextual-based buffer solution materials that are standardized following BSNP criteria. The third is analysis of buffer solution material presented in chemistry teaching materials from chemistry books circulating in school is adjusted to the standard high school chemistry syllabus. The fourth, the development of contextual-based teaching materials will be validated by respondents, which include 2 lecturers and 2 high school chemistry teachers. And the fifth is trial of teaching materials to school that become research site. The next, the problem formulation. The first, does the contextual-based chemistry teaching material on buffer solution material in high school that has been developed meet the standards of content feasibility, language feasibility, presentation feasibility, and feasibility of graphics according to BSNP. The second, how do lecturers and teachers respond to contextual-based chemistry teaching materials on buffer solution materials that have been developed? And the third is, can the developed teaching materials improve student learning outcomes on buffer solution materials? The next, research objectives. The first is to option contextual-based chemistry teaching materials that have been developed on buffer solution materials that meet the standards of content feasibility, language feasibility, presentation feasibility, and graphic feasibility according to BSNP. The second, to find out the response of lecturers and teachers regarding contextual-based chemistry teaching materials on buffer solution materials that have been developed. And the third is to determine the learning outcomes of students who use contextual-based teaching materials that have been developed. The next, research benefit. So this research is expected to provide the following benefits. The first is academic benefits. This research is useful to increase knowledge about the development of contextual-based chemistry teaching materials that can be used as an alternative learning research in the classroom and outside the classroom. The second, practical benefits. For schools, the results of the study are expected to provide a good contribution to the school so that it can improve the quality of the learning process in particular and the quality of the school in general. For teachers, as an alternative source in delivering buffer solution material to students. For students, as a source of knowledge that can help increase student independence and skill. For researchers, adding insight, experience in developing high school chemistry teaching materials on contextual-based buffer solution materials. And for further research, as a study material and literature study for the development of contextual-based teaching materials. Okay, back to ma'am.
Okay. Can I see the problem formulation, please? So, based on the background above and the problem that arise, the problem formulation in the study are: does the contextual chemistry teaching material on buffer solution material in high school that has been developed meet the standard of content feasibility, language feasibility, and presentation feasibility, and feasibility of graphics according to BSNP. Berarti kamu ada membuat material gitu ya, kontekstual. Jadi apa yang kamu buat ini? Bahan ajar gitu?
Bahan ajar, ma'am.
Ya, bahan ajar. Tapi pada bahan ajar itu dia ada kontekstual base-nya gitu ya. Oke. Berarti ini kamu penelitian pengembangan ya?
Iya, ma'am.
Oke, pakai metode apa? 4D, ADDIE, pakai metode apa?
Edi, ma'am.
EDI ya. Oke, nah EDI-nya sampai di mana kamu?
Sampai implementasi, ma'am.
Sampai evaluasi. Berarti kalau evaluasi itu berarti kamu berikan di kelas sudah ya, berarti ya. Kalau evaluasi ya.
Iya, memang mengajar di kelas.
Ngajar di kelas kan. Berarti how do lecturers and teacher respond? Oh, berarti ini yang nomor 2 ini kamu akan memberikan kuesioner juga ke dosen.
Iya, memang angket.
Ke dosen dan ke guru gitu.
2 dosen dan 2 guru.
Apa
Guru
bedanya
kimia?
Validasi? Ini bukan validasi kan? Yang nomor 2 ini bukan validasi kan? Catherine? Ini kan 2 kan, how do lecturers and teacher respond to contextual based chemistry teaching material on buffer solution material that have been developed. Nah, berarti yang nomor 2 ini kamu kuesioner tapi bukan validasi kan? Validasi juga. Yang nomor 2. Ya kan? Nah, baru nomor 3, can the developed teaching material improve student learning outcomes on buffer solution material. Berarti nanti kamu akan sediakan soal-soal pretest post-test gitu ya? Nomor 3 ya?
Iya, ma'am.
Ini ya. Nah, saya bingungnya kalau ini kan nomor 1 kan dia memang ini berdasarkan hasil validasinya kan? Ya kan, Kak, validasi yang pakai BNSP itu kan. Tapi kalau yang nomor 2 ini kan ini responnya. Nggak mungkin ini validasi kan. Berarti ini Ada kuesioner tersendiri berarti ya,
Seperti ini, Mem. Bentar, Mem.
sepertinya.
Bentar, Mem.
Oke, oke.
Seperti ini, Mem.
Hah? Memang ya? Berarti dia bukan, ini nomor 2 ini validasi juga? Enggak kan?
Iya, Mem.
Validasi juga. Karena ini respon loh. Respon. Berarti dia nggak bisa validasi karena ini respon kan. How do lecturer and teacher respond? Berarti respon dari guru dengan dosen. Jadi nggak bisa dia validasi. Validasi itu kan kita dosen menilai valid nggak itu kamu punya. Jadi ini responnya bagaimana. Jadi ya, maksudnya nanti kamu sama pembimbing kamu. Jadi kamu mungkin harus memilih kata-kata yang tepat. Apa benar ini respon? Kalau respon nggak validasi dong. Ya, Catherine ya. Atau
Iya,
udah
Mem.
kamu udah sempro?
Belum, Mem.
Nah, nanti kalau bimbingan coba tanya ke dosen pembimbing kamu, ini kan ada kata respon. Nah, kalau ini kata respon kan nggak cocok kalau hasil validasi yang jadi jawaban dari penelitian kamu kan? Ya, Catherine?
Iya, Mem.
Oke, kalau saya itu aja komen saya ya, Catherine. Good job. Oke, good luck ya. Kapan rencananya sempro? Masih tahu?
Usahakan bulan November ini, Mem.
Ini bulan November loh.
Akhir, Mem.
Akhir. Oke, ya udah, yuk. Yang lain lanjut. Sudah jam 3 ini. Kita lanjut yang lain. Oke, thank you Catherine. Ini siapa
Thank
lagi?
you, Mem.
Saya, ma'am.
Cecilia.
Yes, ma'am.
Oke, silakan Cecilia.
Nurul, can you help me to share my proposal? Can I start, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, ma'am, and all of my friends. In this occasion, I will present my proposal with the title is Development of an Electronic Module based on Safi Learning Model on Buffer Solution topic. The first, I will explain about my background. Education is a conscious and planned effort to create a learning atmosphere and learning process so that students actively develop their potential to have religious, spiritual strength, self-control, personality, intelligence, noble morals, and the skills needed by themselves and society. Learning style also affects students' critical thinking skills. Teachers have to be able to deliver interesting lessons to build understanding and encourage student ideas. The right learning model can make students construct their knowledge independently because constructive theory states that the teacher only helps the process of finding new information to make it meaningful. Then the students themselves will construct the new ideas or concepts based on the experience they get. One of the learning models that can be applied to the education of kids with learning difficulties is the Safi learning model. The word of somatic, auditory, or voice, visual or image, and intellectual or contemplative make up the acronym Safi Learning. Can you scroll up, Nurul? To the next page.
Scroll down.
Yes, ma'am. Scroll down.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this Savvy learning model has the principles of skills which include communication, teamwork, problem solving, initiative, and effort. These skills make the Savvy learning model able to provide space for students to develop indicators of critical thinking skills. Four elements of the Savvy learning model, which consist of somatic, auditory, visual, and intellectual, where somatic learning trains students to evaluate knowledge by doing an activity. Auditory learning trains students to ask questions, argue, and evaluate knowledge based on the collection of information obtained during auditory learning. Visual learning trains students to evaluate knowledge by seeing it directly. And finally, intellectual learning trains students to process evidence through evaluation, make decisions, and solving problems. Each individual has unique ways of receiving, processing, and applying information, resulting in varying levels of learning success. This underscores the need for learning models focusing on individual learning preference. Effective learning involves recognizing personal learning preference and providing strategies that align with each student's inclinations. Based on this concept, the somatic auditory visualization intellectually or savvy learning model was developed to understand personal learning preference and generated tailored learning strategies for its student tendencies. By combining these three techniques, the savvy learning model can facilitate improve comprehension and recall of the material. Based on the issues described above and supported by research, the researchers carry out a study titled Development of an e-module based on the Savvy learning model on the topic of buffer solution. Next page, Nurul. Okay, the identification problem from this proposal is based on the background. The problems that arise can be identified as follows. First, electronic media is still used infrequently, particularly for learning modules. The second, availability of teaching materials that can support student learning models. The third is the lack of students who have utilized technological developments to obtain learning modules. And the last is the need for teachers to obtain more diverse sources of information. The scope of problem or the first buffer solution material in this electronic module includes the basic concepts of buffer solutions, properties of buffer solutions, components of buffer solutions, and use of buffer solutions. The second is the research will be carried out at SMA Negeri 11 Medan in class 11 Mathematics and Science.
Cecilia, why do you stop?
I have trouble with my signal, ma'am. Sorry,
Oh,
ma'am.
okay.
Okay, I will continue to the problem formulation. Based on the background of the problems that have been described, the following problems can be formulated. The first, how to develop electronic modules as learning media on the topic of buffer solution. And the second is, what is the feasibility of electronic modules as learning media on the topic of buffer solution. The next is research objectives. Based on the formulation of the problem, the objectives of this study are: the first is develop learning media in the form of electronic modules with the topic of buffer solution. The second is knowing the feasibility of electronic module-based learning media on the topic of buffer solution. And my research benefit. Based on the objective to be achieved, this research is expected to contribute and provide benefits such as: first, for teachers, the learning module that will be produced can be an alternative to help teachers develop teaching materials by utilizing electronic advance. For students, the usefulness of this electronic module is to facilitate students who have a learning model through somatic, auditory, visualization, and intelligence in receiving learning provided by the teacher, especially on the topic of buffer solutions. The third is for schools. The use of electronic modules can be considered to improve learning and the quality of education. And for academics, the results of this study can be used as a starting point to follow up this research with a wider scope. That's all my presentation, ma'am. I give back to ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cecilia. So Cecilia, this is a development research, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then I want to ask, you mentioned about SAVI, S-A-V-I. What does it mean, SAVI?
That's a learning model, ma'am. Learning style, somatic, auditory, visualization, and intelligent, ma'am.
Okay, you already mentioned last time. Okay, so I just
Yes, ma'am.
SAVI. So it's a learning model pembelajaran ya. Model pembelajaran berarti ya?
Yes, ma'am.
Oke. Model pembelajaran seperti PBL, berarti ada sintaknya dong ya?
Yes, ma'am.
Oke, ada sintaknya. Oke. Nah, berarti ketika kamu membuat e-modul itu, kamu harus mengikuti sintak tersebut ya?
Yes, ma'am.
Oke. Nah, sekarang ini kan berarti development research ya, penelitian pengembangan. Yang mana kamu pakai? AD, ADDIE, saya lupa. Kamu udah mention waktu itu.
Yes, ma'am. I use 3D, ma'am.
3D ya, 3D. Nah,
Yes,
berarti,
ma'am.
tapi kamu tidak mengajar di kelas nih ya?
No, ma'am.
Ya. Jadi kamu hanya memberikan modul kamu ke guru, lalu guru akan memberikan ke siswa, berarti nanti akan ada kuesioner ya?
Yes, ma'am.
Tapi tidak ada post-test, tidak ada pre-test ya?
No, ma'am.
Oke. Nah, ini kan e-modul. E-modul ini berarti dalam bentuk apa? PDF.
Yes, ma'am. PDF, ma'am.
PDF ya. Berarti bukan misalnya kan ada yang kayak pakai apa namanya?
Flipbook, ma'am.
Macam-macam itu kan. Tapi ini hanya dalam bentuk PDF ya.
Yes, ma'am.
Oke, good. Oke. Sudah sempro kamu?
Belum, ma'am. Not yet, ma'am.
Not yet. Ini penelitiannya kan berarti panjang ini kan, karena kamu untuk mengembangkan e-modul itu tidak gampang ya kan, berarti paling tidak berapa teks yang kamu observe?
Rencana, ma'am, 5 book, ma'am.
5 books. 5 books ini buku dalam bahasa Indonesia atau buku dalam bahasa Inggris?
In Indonesia, ma'am.
Indonesia. Berarti e-modul kamu ini dalam bahasa Indonesia ya?
Yes, ma'am.
Oke, berarti nanti kan e-modulnya sendiri kamu harus validasi, berarti ya.
Yes, ma'am.
Questionnaire-nya juga harus kamu validasi ya.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good job, Cecilia. Hopefully, you have everything in time for your seminar proposal. Okay, next, who else?
Thank you, ma'am.
We only have one more. I think we can only have one more student. Okay,
Putri, ma'am.
Putri is 2020 also, right?
2020, ma'am.
Okay. Are you the last one from 2020?
I think
No.
masih ada Evalin sama Maya, ma'am.
Okay. Then why don't you start? Okay, and then the rest of the student will be next week. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
I think by listening to other presentation, right? I don't know, for some reason for me, I learned so many things. I don't know about you guys, okay? By listening other people like explaining about their research, helping you guys understand about many things, right? Okay. Putri, please start your presentation.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, all. My name is Putri Purwansari from GSP 2020. I'm going to present my research proposal with title Implementation of Modified Free Inquiry Learning Model Integrate with Generic Science Skills in Chemical Equilibrium Material. Okay. Chemistry as a science that was initially obtained and developed based on experiment or inductive, but in subsequent developments, chemistry was also obtained and based on theory. As part of science, chemistry is a subject that is currently considered difficult to understand. Apart from that, chemistry lessons also have their own characteristics and require skills in solving chemistry problems in the form of theories, concepts, laws, and facts. Kian and Medal Chem provide reasons why chemistry is considered difficult for some students. First, most chemistry is abstract, which requires students to imagine the existence of the material without experiencing it directly. The second, chemistry is a simplification of the real thing. The third, chemical materials are sequential in nature and develop rapidly. The fourth, much of chemistry is related to mathematical modeling, which consists of solving numbers. And the last, there are a lot of materials studied in chemistry. Chemical equilibrium is one of the most important concepts in chemistry because it's related to and has an impact on several topics in chemistry learning. Chemical equilibrium is a material that is difficult for students to understand because most of the concepts are abstract. There are several factors that cause chemical equilibrium to be difficult, including having an abstract concept, difficulty understanding terms caused by students only memorizing, but not properly understanding the meaning of the terms in chemical equilibrium material, and difficulties in calculations. Problems that occur in the field regarding the concept of chemical equilibrium material are that teachers predominantly use the lecture method, so that the material received by students is only based on the teacher's delivery and students do not discover the concepts themselves that should be achieved. Learning chemistry material at MAN 1 Medan is based on the result of researchers' observation that chemistry learning in class still doesn't involve student activities. Students tend to be less active, unable to learn independently, and less constructing their knowledge, so that chemistry learning is still teacher-centered, which cause students' chemistry learning outcomes to still be low. Based on the problem above, it's necessary to strive for a learning model that can be used to make learning in the classroom more
active so that student learning outcomes can improve. The modified free inquiry learning model is a collaboration or modification of the guide inquiry and free inquiry learning model, so that in this learning model, students don't choose or determine their own problem formulation, but students still receive guidance from the teacher to formulate the investigation problem. Scroll down, please, Nurul. So the modified free inquiry learning model has several advantages, such as modified free inquiry learning model can help students develop ways of thinking to process and conclude. Students can obtain the main ideas and basic concepts of the material studied with this model, and students become trained to think and work hard and free to utilize learning resources. And with all its advantages, modified free inquiry learning model certainly has disadvantages, such as the difficulty in implementing inquiry-based learning is that there is substantial variation in the meaning of inquiry teaching among educators, a lack of understanding of the skills needed to help students create their own questions. And then the teacher's minimal role in learning using the modified free inquiry method results in students tending to get frustrated and fail. So one solution to overcome the weakness of the modified free inquiry learning model is to apply generic science skills in learning with the aim of increasing students' understanding of the concept of a material so that students' chemistry learning outcomes can improve. Scroll down, please. Again. Lagi. Stop. And then the problem identification of my research. Based on the background of the problem above, several problems can be identified as follows. First, the learning process is still teacher-centered learning. Second, students' understanding of the concept of chemical equilibrium is still low. And the third, the learning model used by chemistry teachers is still less effective in improving students' learning outcomes and generic science skills. The scope of the problem. First, the research subjects were limited to class 11 or semester students at Mansatu Medan. Second, the material discussed in this research is dynamic equilibrium, equilibrium constant, equilibrium sieve, and the application of equilibrium. The third, the learning model implement is the modified free inquiry learning model. And the last, the learning tools used in this research include initial knowledge evaluation tests, teaching materials that integrate generic science skill, student worksheets, and learning outcomes evaluation tests. And then the problem formulation of my research. First is the implementation of modified free inquiry learning model integrate with generic science skills effective in improving learning outcomes in chemical equilibrium material? Second, is there a significant influence between students' initial knowledge and student worksheets on learning outcomes in chemical equilibrium material? And the third, is there a difference in learning outcomes between students with low initial knowledge and students with high initial knowledge? Next, the research purpose. First, to determine the effectiveness of implementing the modified free inquiry learning model integrate with generic science skills in improving learning outcomes in chemical equilibrium material. The second, to determine the significant influence between students' initial knowledge and student worksheets on student learning outcomes in chemical equilibrium material. And the last, to determine the difference in learning outcomes between students who have low initial knowledge and students who have high initial knowledge. And then the last is research benefits. First is theoretically, let's hope that this research will provide benefits in the development of science, namely as scientific information related to the application or the implementation of the modified free inquiry learning model integrate with generic science skills in chemical equilibrium material. And then practically, first is for teachers. This research can be used as consideration for implementing an effective learning model in improving learning outcomes and students' generic science skills in chemical equilibrium material. And then the second, for students, can overcome students' difficulties in the learning process, especially in chemical equilibrium material. And the last, for researchers, increase the knowledge and insight of research and other readers in implementing the modified free inquiry learning model integrate with generic science skills in chemical equilibrium material.
Oke, Putri. Jadi sejauh ini yang presentasi hari ini hanya kamu kali ya yang ada mengajar di kelas ya. Kamu mengajar di kelas nanti kan?
Iya, Ma'am.
Coba naik ke atas ke problem formulation. Ini kamu udah sempro?
Belum, Ma'am.
Oke, coba ke bawah. Ke problem formulation. Oke. Scroll down until problem formulation. Oke. Nah, jadi ada 3 problem formulation kamu ya. Satu is the implementation of modified free inquiry learning model integrated with generic science skill effective in improving learning outcomes in chemical equilibrium material. Berarti ini ada pretest post-test ya?
Ada, Ma'am.
Ya, ini nanti kelasnya berarti apa? Ada 2 kelas? Satu kelas pembanding?
Hanya satu kelas, Ma'am.
Hanya satu kelas saja, berarti hanya ada kelas eksperimen ya?
Ya, Ma'am.
Oke. Nah, lalu yang kedua, is there a significant influence between students' initial knowledge and student worksheet on learning outcomes in chemical equilibrium material? Nah, berarti yang kedua ini kamu pakai survei gitu ya, kuesioner?
Enggak, Ma'am. Jadi nanti di awal sebelum pembelajaran, di situ ada tes skolastik yang dia terintegrasi kemampuan generic science gitu, Ma'am.
Oh, berarti
Itu sebagai alat ukur kemampuan awal siswa, Ma'am.
Berarti yang kedua ini, berarti kamu ada pretest, ada lagi tes skolastik gitu ya?
Oh iya, Ma'am.
Oke. Nah, baru yang ketiga, is there a difference in learning outcomes between student with low initial knowledge and student with high initial knowledge? Berarti nanti begini ya, berarti setelah kan kamu ada lakukan pretest, ya kan? Lalu kamu lakukan skolastik ini ya, skolastik tes ini. Nah, setelah itu kamu bandingkan ya hasil 1 dan 2 gitu. Ada kaitannya nggak antara yang dia pengetahuan sebelumnya rendah dibandingkan dengan pengetahuan sebelumnya tinggi gitu ya, berarti ya Putri?
Iya.
Berarti kamu ada pakai statistik dong ya?
Iya.
Berarti maksudnya kan nanti berarti di statistiknya itu kamu harus bisa menentukan apakah ada perbedaan gitu kan? Benar nggak?
Benar, Ma'am.
Berarti kamu harus teori statistik kamu harus kuat ini karena ini semua data statistik ini kan? Statistical analisisnya kamu harus kuat. Oke, kalau begitu good job ya. Kamu ini yang baru pertama yang penelitiannya ada mengajar di kelas gitu ya. Mudah-mudahan penelitian kamu lancar. Kapan rencananya kamu sempro?
Ini lagi nyusun lampiran, Mem.
Senapian, oke. Itu tadi apa
Hafalannya udah
topiknya? Topik kimia kesetimbangan ya.
timbangannya.
Berarti dalam kurikulum Merdeka belum lewat itu ya? Kesetimbangan kimia.
Ini pakai kurikulum 13, Mem.
Kurikulum 13 harusnya lewat kan enggak?
Belum.
Belum.
Di akhir November sampai awal Desember.
Ini udah masih sempat itu?
Sempat.
Sempat. Oh,
Sempat.
makanya kamu harus buru-buru ini karena kan sesudah sempro kamu udah daftar sempro.
Belum, Mem. Lagi proses lampirannya, tinggal lampirannya.
Karena kalau kamu daftar sempro pun kan belum tentu langsung bisa.
Iya.
Sementara ini sudah minggu kedua ini ya, minggu kedua November ya. Nah, jadi ya kamu harus buru-buru ini ya, nggak bisa lambat-lambat lagi, harus cepat-cepat ini. Kalau nggak nanti udah kelewatan topik kamu kan. Jadinya
Iya.
kamu tunggu lagi tahun depan. Nah, nggak bagus gitu ya. Oke? Udah.
Oke.
Berarti minggu depan kita lanjutkan lagi. Nah, saya rasa kalian semua dari pendahuluan pun saya dengar kalian membacakannya, ya kan? Saya rasa pendahuluan kalian pun sudah semakin bagus. Pelafalan bahasa Inggris kalian pun hanya ada beberapa ya yang perlu diperbaiki ya. Tapi kalian harus semakin berlatih lagi ya, karena nanti kan juga kalian bilingual kan, ketika presentasi seminar proposal kalian harus memakai bahasa Inggris gitu ya. Jadi harus kalian latih lagi nanti supaya lancar gitu ya. Oke. Nah, minggu depan kita lanjutkan lagi. Kira-kira berapa lagi nih mahasiswa 20? 2 ya? 2 lagi yang belum ya? 2 lagi yang belum. Nah, ya berarti selanjutnya mahasiswa 21 siap-siap ya. Walaupun ini kalian belum sempro, tapi ada baiknya juga kalau kalian berikan yang terbaik ya, karena kan nggak terasa tahu-tahu tahun depan kalian sudah harus sempro. Jadikan aja ini sebagai latihan kalian. Oke? Oke, kalau tidak ada lagi sampai jumpa minggu depan ya di waktu dan Zoom yang sama. Oke, bye.